10:30 our time.
Ain't been on it.
I went to check Facebook, and it was having me log back in. And I've coached several friends through a massive hacking, where their accounts got hacked, and then their accounts get hacked. They get booted off Facebook, have to re-log in. By the time they get logged back in, they realize that they used the hackers used their personal account to gain access to their business account. And then once you're in on the personal account, you now have access to the business account. You can add yourself, because you're a hacker, right? You're acting like somebody else. You can add yourself as a user on the business account.
Yeah, you're an admin.
And then you can eliminate everybody else off the business account, including the account that you've hacked. And so essentially these hackers will do that and then take total control over the business account. My friends that own Purgatory Tattoo out in Oak Grove, that happened to them.
That is not where I got my last
And
tattoo.
that is, they still don't have their account back.
Really?
Yeah.
How long has that been going on? I like her. She's a great.
She's amazing. It's just, I don't know.
I ask.
I don't know why they don't have it, like some weird, funny rule. Like Facebook acknowledges, yeah, somebody hacked your account, but for some reason Facebook won't give it back. I don't know why. I have another friend of mine that has a couple of hair salons, and she got hacked.
Is it Belizio?
Yeah.
Oh.
And
she was a guest on
hacked.
the show. She was awesome.
I was able to see it. Like she, the hackers updated her profile picture to something random. And I'm like, that doesn't look right. And so I went to
like
her
a Lambo or something.
No, it was like some
weird.
weird thing. And so I went to her account, and I'm like, this does not look good. So I called her up, and I'm like, hey, log into Facebook. And she's like, I can't. And I'm like, right, like, listen to every word I say, and you have like almost no time to do this. Who else has access to your business account? And she rattled off all these names, and I'm like, who's the highest, most senior person you have that has access to that? And she's told me who it was, and I'm like, call them right now. Tell them
Change your password.
No, I said, tell them to go into the business account and eliminate every user, including you, from the business account, and just them. And we were able to save her. We got hers in time.
That's good. She's a nice girl.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone was able to get kicked off within like 48 hours. She was able to get access back to her account, and everything was good. And then they go back and add the users. But that's what the hackers do. When they get access to your personal account, they also get access to all the other accounts that you manage, all your businesses, all of your pages, all of your groups, all of your everything. And they go through an admin control, change total control of all that stuff. I've had friends lose control of Facebook groups. They were listed as admins of Facebook groups.
Oh, really?
We're talking Facebook groups with 100,000 members.
Ooh.
And they get their account hacked, and then that person goes into the group that they run and eliminates all the other admins, eliminates everybody, and puts themselves as the admin, and now they don't own that group anymore.
Interesting.
It's crazy.
It's not just crazy. It's like that's the world we live in now.
Yeah.
Right? You know, it's just like
two-factor authentication.
People make fun of me for like not wanting to be involved in all of the technology crap. And it's like things like this, like I don't want to say it's not important. And I know that I've got to be doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we tell all the guys in Tradewinds, you've got to be doing this. This is what it takes to be out in front of everyone, get free advertising, grow your business. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's like I can always feel that pull of this is why I don't want to fuck with it. Because it's a constant battle of, I shouldn't say constant battle. You have to constantly be aware that those things could happen.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just the world. Like, let's be honest, it's the world we live in now. Like, and it doesn't matter if it's Facebook, Instagram. It doesn't matter if it's my bank account online. It doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
You've got to constantly be aware. And like you were about to say, the two-factor authentication, like you have to be doing that stuff.
Well,
like just because it literally can take 30 minutes, and the work that you put in for 2 years, it's gone.
Right.
Or it takes it 6 months to get back.
Right.
You know?
The thing you have to watch out for, though. Remember when fuel injection was coming around, you had all these diehard carburetor guys.
Oh, now we're getting onto a topic.
So you got all these diehard carburetor guys that are like, I don't like that newfangled technology, all that newfangled computer crap, right? And next thing you know, the carburetor guys are now getting their ass kicked by the fuel injector guys. in the computerized car, right?
Yeah.
And it's like you can ignore it all you want, but it's coming whether you want it or not. Fuel injection, for example. You can ignore it all you want, but it's coming whether you like it or not. So get in early, learn how to use it to your advantage, learn the risks, and then run from there. Because there's plenty of risks with carburation too.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you brought that up because, like, so when you're running track times, like an old Quadrajet will, like, if you're just in a quarter mile where you're just running full throttle open, will actually run as good, if not better, in a lot of cases than a fuel injection.
If it's tuned right, yeah.
If it's tuned right, it will. But if you're on a road course and you're in and out of the throttle a lot, the fuel injection runs better.
Yeah.
If you're looking for fuel economy, the fuel injection runs better.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you can disregard either of them.
Right.
So when you're growing in business or whatever, regardless of what it is, when new technology comes along, you owe it to yourself, like you were saying, to learn as much as you can about the fuel injection, about the Facebook, about the Instagram, about all this stuff. Does it seem like a hassle? Of course it does. But that's what separates you from the guy that wants to just have a regular old job.
That's business.
Like business is constantly grabbing those things that are out there, learning everything you can, and realizing, okay, 8% of that's good.
Yeah.
I want to harness that.
Yeah.
25% of the next thing is great. 100% of the next thing is great. And taking all of that stuff and mixing it together and then using it to move your business forward.
Right.
You know what I mean? The people that were like when fuel injection first came out and they were running against they were killing them. And then people that were running Quadradets were like, hey, look, what happens if we just change the rods and the springs and we run full fucking wide open? Fuck it. And then they were beating them. You know what I mean? But
For a minute.
But they had to learn that stuff and realize we have to change what we're doing here to keep up with everything else. And that's kind of what I'm saying is, like, if you don't at least acknowledge what's happening to your business or social media or the way advertising's handled or when ProPress comes out or when pipe bursting comes out. I know a lot of the guys are plumbers. You're like, if you don't realize that stuff is the next frontier and you just say, fuck it, I don't want to deal with it, you're going to be left behind.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with variable speed compressors and HVAC. They're shit. They suck, and they've sucked for 8 years. But for those guys that don't know anything about them and people have been putting them in anyway, like, you're behind the curve because the next ones that come out or the next ones are going to be great.
Yeah.
And then that's going to be the next thing.
Yep.
And so you're behind the 8 ball fucking 10 years because you were just too ignorant to grasp a hold of that stuff and say, hey, I need to learn what I can.
All right.
You know, why it's right here in front of me. And it makes it more difficult down the road. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Am I babbling?
A little bit.
That's okay.
But so, like,
I'm not getting paid. It's fine.
Another example of that is, so, like, last Tuesday, a week ago today, we discovered some fraudulent activity on our American Express card related to Facebook ads.
Smedley Plumbing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
know
we
an
had
ATW.
we were having we run Facebook ads in our company, and we were having we're in constant communication with the guy that runs my ads and all this stuff. And we started noticing all of these small charges for, like, a $2 ad and a $5 ad and a $10 ad and a $12 ad and a $7 ad. And I mean, they just come in these massive waves.
Yeah. And
so we talked to him about it, and he says, yeah, I'm going to get you on batch billing or like threshold billing, where they're just going to let all that pile up, and then you just they just bill you like $500 at a time. And so we were like, okay, well, this is really annoying because it's a bookkeeping nightmare because you're getting like 20 transactions a day, all for small dollar amounts. And so the couple of weeks goes by, next thing we know, we're still getting it. And he was like, well, I got it on batch billing or threshold billing, but you may have some lingering ones coming in. A couple of more weeks goes by, it's still happening. And he's like, I don't know what's going on. You are on the new billing. And so we start looking into it, and we realize, wait a minute, our Facebook, like, we pay the marketer with my American Express, but we pay the ad spend with my MasterCard. And
Okay.
all of these charges were coming in on the American Express.
Oh.
And so then the
okay.
light bulb goes off of
Oh
like,
shit! Here we are.
shit, this isn't even the right card. Like, whose ads are these?
Not mine, bitch.
And so
That's great.
then we start realizing, like, holy cow, we're paying for somebody's ads. And this has gone on for 60 days.
Yeah.
And it started on December like 29th. And so I call American Express, start the process with them to dispute all of it. I call Facebook, start the process with them to dispute all of it. And next thing we know, like, Facebook admits that, yes, somebody got a hold of your card. We're not sure how this happened. The money's been spent on Instagram, boosting posts on Instagram, which we don't do that, right?
Yeah.
And then I've got in writing from Facebook that they acknowledge that this money is being spent on accounts that I don't own, nor do I have access to.
Okay.
And so that gave me the power that I needed to go back to Amex and full on dispute every charge that
yeah.
happened.
And Amex was probably like, gotcha.
Amex has got your back.
Yeah. Gotcha.
They still
bro.
have a process to go through. And I mean,
yeah, and it's a 45-day process. I guarantee it.
and this
But
is
still,
this
you gotta
is
start it.
this is 300 and is almost 350 transactions totaling $7,000
Woo!
over 65 days.
Woo! Good thing it ain't my money.
Yeah. And so
Sorry, bro.
what's funny is now Facebook has circled back around with me and they're like, we found no foul play. And
Yeah.
it's like bullshit. Like,
hey, look, I already fucking snapped. I like.
Right.
I already took screenshots. You're fucked.
Yeah.
Like, you
well,
know.
and really what it is, what I think is happening is Facebook is confusing and crossing credit card numbers. Like
that's
Facebook,
probably true.
Facebook has my Amex because that's what I pay for my blue check with. I pay them
Okay.
$14.99 a month for my blue check.
Gotcha.
That's the only way Facebook could get my Amex because that's the only thing I pay for that. Well, somehow Facebook allowed my Amex card to get lined up with somebody else's account.